G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_gaming for another Dokkan battle video. So for today's video we're doing something very different. I don't do these very often, but obviously we've had a few trailers, a few hints, and I thought it'd be fun to go through what my ideal global celebration would be for part 1. So under this pretense, I'm going to say that it's just future saga focused. I know that there's obviously a lot of talk for it just being a team up celebration. I'm just going to focus on part 1 being future. So let me know down below what your thoughts are, whether you'd be happy with this type of celebration. I don't go into kits and whatnot. I just go into what the 2 LRs would be and a few other bits and pieces from the celebration. So the first part is pretty much just what is widely accepted as the first, as one of the LRs. I've got them as the DFE. I think Zamasu / Rose into merge Zamasu is all but a given at this stage. So the way that I've done it is that the unit would start as Rose, and then like the tag Goku Vegeta, you could then exchange into Zamasu. If you decide to stay in Rose, you then activate an active skill, which would then whip the Scythe out, and with that you could say cause ultimate damage and gain 10% damage reduction or something like that. I think that would be the opposite of the similarity to Vegeta with the Batara Crush. If not, you could switch across into Zamasu, and then from Zamasu you could activate essentially a fusion like Vegeta to then go into merge Zamasu. So the reason that I like having the Scythe there is that, and particularly Roses, you can see on the right hand side we just get such good access to categories with Rose. So Realm of Gods, Batara, Future Saga, Time Travelers, Kamehameha, Exploding Rage, Inhuman Deeds, Corroded Body and Mind, Accelerated Battle, Worldwide Chaos, Power Beyond Super Saiyans, Power of Wishes, Super Bosses and Successors. So you can see that's significantly more than the Tech Merge Zamasu categories that I have sitting below there. What I really like about having a Rose unit in here is Power Beyond Super Saiyans and potentially Kamehameha. You could get away with probably utilising this guy on a lot of those super class teams if the restrictions weren't too high on him. So I think having Rose as an aspect of the unit, not just Goku Black, would be really, really beneficial. You can also see that I've listed down the leader skill that I'd like to see here. I have gone with the 3. I think the 3 for a Dokkan Fest LR is probably what we should expect. And I think Realm of Gods, Exploding Rage and Power of Wishes would provide a really good capture of a lot of top tier units that we do have. Especially as this guy's a big bad bosses unit. For the big bad bosses, like extreme class side of team building. So for Realm of Gods, that's obviously where you're going to pick up all of your Goku Blacks, Roses, Zamasus, so it's like big ticker there. Exploding Rage gives you access to the Brolys, to the Janembas, and like Lord Slugs, all of that. And then Power of Wishes is like the Broly trio. Off the top of my head, I can't think of whoever else, but it also gives you options with the superclass side as well. So I think the combination of those 3 leader skills would just give a really, really solid roster. I know that it wouldn't have the 10th anniversary fusions on it, but as I said, you're mainly looking for what's going to be able to pick up superclass side, extreme class side, sorry, not super. So I think we've really hit the nail with a bunch of those big bad bosses options if we were to go with that leader skill. So that would be the Dokkan Fest LR. For the Carnival LR, I know that it is just 1 leader skill, but I've listed down 3 options. Obviously, within those 3, like Kamehameha would be sick, but they're probably going to give us some form of future saga, or if it is very much focus of actually they wouldn't even be on joint forces now that I think of it, but if they were, or maybe it's just a tag, I don't know. But what I was saying was, yeah, if it's focused on like some type of team up, maybe joint forces could get snuck in there somehow. Maybe the unit starts as Goku and Vegeta, then you tag straight into Goku, and then you can add Vegeta back in, or you can go back to Vegeta. Anyway, my plan here is that joint forces has sort of thrown me out of whack now, but you'd start off as Blue Goku. From there, you could either tag across, exchange into Vegeta, and then from Vegeta you could then fuse into Blue Vegeto. Alternatively, if you didn't want to activate the fusion, like the Scythe or like the Patara Crushing, you could activate the active skill in Goku, which is where you would go into his rage mode for when he find out about Chi-Chi and Goten's death. And again, could be a big stats boost to him, maybe some damage reduction, whatnot. And again, I like the fact that we've got that active skill in there, because that would then put us on exploding rage as well. When you look at the Blues teams here, and this is from the AGL Blue Goku and Vegeta, they do have a number of teams, a lot of really top tier teams. Like, I won't go through all of them again, but you can see Pure Saiyans, we've got Kamehameha, Battle of Wits, Accelerated Battle, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Fused Fighters, Bond of Parent and Child Superheroes. So like, a lot of really good teams. You add in Exploding Rage there, and I think you could pair these guys up with some really, really good options, especially if they were a Kamehameha lead. I know we got one a year ago with the SCR Family Kamehameha Gohan, but if we're only getting one per year, like, I think we could redo it again. But yeah, they might also say that 220% to Kamehameha would just be too insanely powerful. But imagine a brand new of these guys next to the tech gods, floating with the Path to Power Kid Goku with the support and orb changing. You could put together some really, really nasty team builds. But so that's the two summonable LRs. Going all out for this celebration, we're going to get some easy A's in here, and we're going to get one of the more infamous units, I'm going to call them. There was a lot of talk when they first dropped about where they sort of placed in the game. They were insane, and I would like to see them get an easy A now, when we're going into a future celebration where they can be extremely relevant again. So for them, they're going to have a really powerful leader skill as well. Bond of Parent and Child is going to give you access to pretty much every top tier option in the game at this stage. And then what they do have, and I think that they should continue with, is just really boosting up their slot 1 power. We've got 1 billion units that can sit in slot 2 and 3, so to have an option like this, they're a stacker. You pretty much, as you can see, I've got there in dot point 2, juice them up with more damage reduction, and let them just be a slot 1 monster. On top of that though, we all know that supports just make the game so much easier, and I love to run supports wherever I possibly can to give them more usability, I guess we'll say, as our slot 1. I'd love for them to get a super attack where they support the rotation on super. So say if they were to give 33% or 30% attack and defense to the rest of the rotation, on their 12 key super or something like that. Remember, these guys can perform multiple 12 key supers, so I think that would be really, really impactful. If you're feeling really generous, you could go the 2-turn support on 18 key. But yeah, obviously they wouldn't want to go too insanely crazy, but I think these guys would be a phenomenal easy A. They do carry a lot of hype. Realistically, they are a Dokkan Fest LR, so I think that would be really, really well received. So that would be our super side easy A, and I'm also going out with an extreme side easy A. So I think, why not hit up the int merged Zamasu. So it does share the same name with the tech merged Zamasu, which sucks, but I'd love to see them just jump ahead and give this guy his easy A. Give him some time to shine before the tech merged Zamasu does easy A at some point in the future. This guy's an orb changer, big bad boss's unit, does have a level of damage reduction that he can get up to, but Honestly, I think he's a little bit of a wild card. So you can see here for his kit, I've just got question marks. I'd just love to see them make him work really, really well with the tag Rose and Zamasu. They're going to share big bad bosses and amongst other links. They're going to be on a billion of the same categories. Like would just hope that they build this unit to synergize with the tag unit. So yeah, pretty open to what you get this guy. I actually rainbowed him on his initial banner, so definitely have a soft spot for that Intamasu. Then we've got the Super Easy A's, two really blatant, obvious options that we've got here. We've got Physical Blue Vegito, again, another crowd favourite. I remember when this guy got his Easy A originally, and like the counters, the big time damage with that, the billion supers that he does, he was just a unit that everyone really loves. So seeing him getting his Super Easy A would definitely bring a lot of hype to the community. And then we've got the blue rosé. So, the blue rosé, the AGL rosé, again, would be pretty hype. Another unit that I know a lot of people have nostalgia about is a support class unit, which definitely helps. Yeah, he'd be a great link. He partnered with big bad bosses. I think it would just be really fitting for both of these guys to get their Super Easy A's and be really, really relevant during a future celebration. So those are probably two really, really easy picks. If we were to get a third, which I haven't included here, but the Int Blue Vegeta would also be a really good one. The sort of rage Vegeta that pounds the life out of Rose in the anime. But yeah, I can't imagine they're going to go all out that quickly with a bunch of Super Easy A's like that. And then I have got a sub Easy A listed here. So I was looking for multiple to see if we could get like a joint sub Easy A that they usually do. But Future doesn't really have any units that can sub Easy A other than this AGL Goku Black. So as I said at the start, I'd prefer my units to be Rose so we can get on things like Power Beyond Super Saiyan. But if you're running Goku Black on Zamasu's team, I feel like he'd be a really impactful sub Easy A with his ability to provide support. So I think it would be a really good opportunity to get his sub Easy A out there as well. And then the final thing that we've got here is a burst mode. So obviously I'd love to see new red zones, but a lot of that would be rinse and repeat of what we do already have, which is great. I'd love that. New stages, more stones, all of that good stuff. But more importantly, I'd love for them to put a burst mode on the old Dismal Future red zone stages, whether that be on the final Merge Zamasu stage, which used to be an absolute demon back in the day, or even, one of the earlier Zamasu stages. I think the ability to create our own difficult content, applying the settings that sort of we want to apply ourselves, just makes for a lot of content. Just that flexibility to choose our difficulty ourselves, I think, does give us a lot more flexibility and a lot more replayability for an event that did come out ages ago now at this stage. So on top of any red zones or whatever, I think this would be an easy way for them to showcase some new difficult content to us. But there you go, guys. That's sort of just a mock-up of a potential part one for a future celebration. Let me know your thoughts on it. Obviously I'm no graphic designer, so not the prettiest little show that we've gone through here, but hopefully you guys sort of like the concept. So let me know your thoughts on it down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.